words, English words. So tomorrow will be turkey sandwich day. And good morning, long hauler. How was your Thanksgiving? Ours was incredibly quiet because we don't have any local family. Oh, what is it? That's going to annoy me. It's the fluid that works stuff. Lifts things up and puts things down. But anyway, yes, he's... And then other farmers I watch have sort of 1990s equipment, which, what's a CVT? Hydraulic, that's the one. I was getting stuck on hydro and thinking, no, that's water and this is oil. Or some thicker, viscous, oily liquid. But yes, hydraulics. And yes, Millennial Farmer does use newer equipment that probably does have CVT, but we don't get driving lessons in his when he's doing his videos. But yeah, I think I mentioned earlier, there's Thrustmasters bought out a heavy equipment, joystick, steering wheel, and a mount for your steering wheel which has sort of three-way adjustment, so you can adjust it whether the wheel's pointing at you or more horizontal. So you can position it like a truck, and what have you. And I've seen a couple of people trying that out, but there's another company which I've never heard of before, which is also doing a farm sim wheel and side panel. The wheel is more akin to the old Cytec farm sim wheel, so no force feedback, but obviously much cheaper, and that worries me because the Cytec wheel failed on me twice, so I wasn't impressed with that. This company obviously is not Cytec. Cytec doesn't exist anymore. It's not Logitech who took over Cytec and still produces the farm sim side panel and wheel, which again they didn't improve anything about it, so potentially has issues. This wheel and panel, the joystick's kind of nice because you get a joystick for sort of front loader action, and it's also got a sort of a shuttle control as well, where you can push the throttle forward to set your speed. The steering wheel actually has turn signal and light arms on it, so twist the end of the light stick and it'll turn the lights on the tractor, which is kind of cute. And I'm wondering why more steering wheel folks don't give you the sort of the sticks you have in a car for turn signals and lights. But aside from that, the whole kit costs $400, and I did see someone mention that they tried it out and there's no way to adjust the dead zone on the wheel at all. So that was a problem, and $400. Now the Thrustmaster joystick I think is 100, and the wheel, I can't remember if it's 100 or 160, but that's still quite a bit less than $400 for the control system. I've seen some people have tested out the Thrustmaster stuff, and they are predominantly logging sim, farm sim for logging or forestry, and they've said, get 2 of those joysticks and it's just like working proper forestry equipment, where you've got one is rotating the top of the because you drive in with the tracks and just stop, and then you rotate the cab, and the other one's controlling the arm and the grabs, and they said this is absolutely wonderful, the best thing we've had for farm sim. Now obviously I don't do a lot in the way of forestry, so I wouldn't need 2, but I am seriously thinking about the joystick. Wheel, not so much. I've got, what have I got? I believe this is a Logitech wheel, G29, G27, something like that, and that served me well for 7 years, since Farm Sim 17 came out, and is still working well. So I have no desire to change my wheel, but I do have a desire to replace my side panel, because that is a little bit of a problem sometimes. I should jump over to the Renault and get that. Heading the second field. Spent way too long in this field without the mowing contracts happening. There we go. Yeah, and I think, part of the issue with the whole transmission thing in the UK, it's why so many people didn't drive automatics. And the issue is back in the 70s, an automatic gearbox added a significant amount of weight to the vehicle you were driving. So if you compared the automatic to the manual, the automatic drove slower. In many situations, the fuel consumption was worse because it was adding weight to the vehicle, and that weight does have something to do with economy. Now, my grandfather had an automatic because he had a bad knee, I think because of experiences during World War II, so he had to drive an automatic. He couldn't get a license to drive a stick. But most people, they drove sticks because it was just cheaper. And also, European cars are a lot smaller and lighter, or a lot smaller, with smaller engines than US cars were at the time. So they didn't have the power to add a hulking great couple of £100 automatic gearbox in. US cars didn't have so much of a problem because you're talking a 4-litre engine. Yeah, that's got more than enough power to take on the extra weight of an automatic gearbox. We are there. So that was a thing. But with the new electronic gearboxes, which is what I've got in my Saab, people have become much more open to having technically an automatic gearbox, or you can optionally drive it as a clutchless manual. And the weight of those is not nearly as much as the old style mechanical automatic gearboxes, and so fuel consumption can be better because the modern computers that can control those transmissions are capable of driving the vehicle very efficiently and probably shifting gear far more. They can chase the fuel the better fuel consumption better than a human can. So there is that. But yeah, now in Europe you are seeing far more automatic vehicles, far fewer stick shifts, and in America it's almost impossible to find stick shifts a lot of the time. If I do remember rightly, I think Mazda used to predominantly just do stick shifts. They didn't really go for automatics. We've had a Kia that was auto. Yeah, everything we've had over here, apart from my Subaru, back in 2000, every vehicle we've had has been automatic, or in the case of the Saab, has the clutchless manual option. I think our Equinox had a clutchless manual option, but I hated it because it was just all wrong. I think it was buttons behind the left and right side of the steering wheel to do the manual shift, and it's like, I can't get to grips with that. But it's not the sort of vehicle I want to take control and use the power. True. Yeah, I mean, this is more in the case of cars, not tractors or semi-trucks. You're talking a car is a small light vehicle, and if you put in an old mechanical automatic gearbox, you're adding like 10% of the weight to the vehicle, which is going to affect your acceleration, your top speed, your fuel consumption. Now, obviously, in a truck or a tractor, putting an automatic gearbox in that, I've got a 5-ton tractor and a mechanical gearbox that adds, half a ton to it. It's not as big a deal as I've got a 500-pound car and I'm adding a 200-pound gearbox into it. How are we doing here? I haven't been paying attention. The plough's down to 70%. Oh, as I said, we should be okay. I think with this, I'll probably swing down to 62 and then back up to 72. The tractor's already down 20% though, so I might only get one more field out before I need to put some of these pieces of equipment through service. Tedder's still got 10 minutes. I guess we're okay. I've got time to do things. Missing bits. Not that it matters. we've already proven this job. We've probably got about 10-15% of the field that doesn't need to be done to complete the contract. We might be close to completing this one at the same time the header gets done. But yeah, I'm with me driving a sports sedan. I want to drive a sports sedan. I don't want to sit inside it and be a passenger. With the minivan, we've now got a Honda Odyssey, and yeah, with the minivan, I don't feel any compulsion to want to drive it as if it was a stick shift, because it doesn't have the guts to get up and go when you want it to, or anything like that, which the Saab does. If I'm pulling onto a highway, especially on a short ramp, I want that power, and I can use it and I can access it because I can shift manually. And I have I do take different routes depending on whether I'm driving the car or whether I'm driving the minivan, and prior to that, the Equinox, because I know the minivan and Equinox don't have the acceleration I prefer to have around just in case when turning left onto a main road. So I'll arrange my my route so that I am actually taking a right-hand turn onto the main road, or driving straight across the main road. Whereas with the Saab, it's there's enough room that if there's enough room both ways, I can pull out leisurely. But if the gaps are tight, I know that car can make it. So I can call that decision and just go. And I've tried a similar setup with the BMW, but it's its up down shift is reverse of what A, I'm used to, and B, I feel is logical. You pull the stick back towards you to shift up, you push it away from you to shift down. And there's sort of logic says if I want to go into a higher gear, I want to push forward. And if I'm slowing down and want to change into a lower gear, I kind of want to pull backwards. So I kind of stay away from BMWs myself, but anyway, enough on cars. I still haven't seen an update on how much percent I'm done here. Renault has 3 minutes to run. And I believe it's done. We can set the Valtra on the merge, and we'll probably be getting ready to set this up on the last field by the time all the I don't know. Kind of thinking once the merge has started, I can switch to the baler and just follow the Valtra around with the Renault and collect all the stuff. I might stick this on a worker. I haven't looked to see if there's any seeding contracts. Another job this tractor can do. I think the tractor's running wear and tear quicker than the plough is. So I'll probably catch up with one of them very, very shortly. So yeah, I got a cancellation on my appointment with the specialist. So I go and see the specialist on the 18th of December now. So yay, week before Christmas, although I don't think anything's going to become of it until the new year. It's kind of the problem with this time of year is one, getting into an appointment can be difficult, and I was actually looking at a 2-month wait. Effectively I'm down to 1.5 months wait, but you know, you've got Thanksgiving, you've got Christmas, you've got New Year's, you've got lots of people taking time off, so the opportunity for appointments to see a medical professional can be kind of tight already. And then even if you see them and they say yes, we need to do X, Y and Z, it's probably not going to be at least January or February until they can get to be doing that. So you know, does it, strictly speaking from a health point of view, make any difference if I see the doctor on the 18th of December or the 2nd of January? I don't think so. The only thing it does make a difference for is my health insurance resets on the 1st of January. And since we already had a lot of medical for our family this last year with Mrs. Osa's situation, which tagged over to the beginning of this year, we have paid all of our copay. So going to see the doctor on the 18th means insurance is picking up all of that bill. Whereas if I was waiting till January 2nd, yeah, we'd have the entire copay to pay for that. So that's a bonus to getting slightly before Christmas. Let's see where things go after that. So no updates on that for a while. And okay, Ted has finished. We're nearly done here. I think I haven't been paying attention to how far through this contract I am. Probably over 80% done. Let's see if I can find out. Cultivating. Oh, we're done. Oh, the message just came up. Yes. You can fold. You're ready. Okay. What did I just do? I took a baling contract in field 7. Yeah, that's okay, I guess. Oh, idiot. So if I pull this over here, I should be able to send that down to field 62. My goodness. I'm going to suggest, oops, that the entrance is possibly here. And I am possibly completely wrong. But he's on his way. He's done. How do I get out of here? Yeah, I think it's behind me. Yep. I still have FS19 loaded. What I've lost is all of my old game saves from 17. Like that massive series on Lawfolds that I played. That's all gone because of my disappear. Because of my hard drive failure last year or the other year. I think that was towards the end of my Lone Oak series. Not Lone Oak, Oakfield. Okay, so there's another thing that's been bugging me lately. Farming Simulator Giants were down at Agritechnica, and there was a preview video released of the Massey Ferguson 9S in FarmSim. When do we get that? I would really like to get hold of that tractor. I think it's probably a good tractor for this farm, or good fit for this farm, and it's red. And we keep having green tractors on this one. But they said about it, yeah. The video's been out for no course. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Generate field work course. Back, cancel back, and I am right where this is going to start. So. And in some ways, I do find it's a little bit sad that Oxygen David made the decision not to update any of his old maps for FarmSim 22. Because his maps are a lot of fun. But, you know, I can understand he's working on new maps rather than wasting his time working on the old ones. And typically, you know, the way he does things, he'll start with a small brand new map, like was it Calmsden Farm? It wasn't a full 2 kilometre by 2 kilometre map size, but it was very realistic and it was a lot of fun to play on. I didn't do a series on it because, as I said, everybody else was doing a YouTube series on it. But and then he concentrates on doing a new big map. So getting onto things like Lone Oak, like Oakfield Farm, like